Good morning. Today we find ourselves at a little campground just south of Mt.Shasta on the McCloud River, known as Fowler, I think it's called. But we're going to get to a sign here where I can make sure I'm pronouncing that properly. The beauty of this campground is that we didn't know about it. Now we do know about it and we love it. That's the best part about the trips we take, is we don't plan them. We just get in the vehicle and drive, and we just see where we end up. And today we ended up, or last night anyway, we ended up at a campground on the McCloud River. Another place that I have very fond memories of. Why? Because this river flows down into Lake Shasta. Yes, we are going to go throw some kerplunkers. These are my two sidekicks on their bikes, and they like throwing rocks into the river. So anyway, as I was saying, this river flows into Lake Shasta, one of the three rivers that flow into Lake Shasta: the Pitt, the McCloud, and the Sacramento. And this year, the McCloud is flowing nicely. So we're going to walk down river. We're just upriver from Lower Falls. Hey guys, let's go for a walk. What do we know about this campground today?
I don't know yet.
Well, remember, it was, that's right, there was a hotel here at one time. There was a hotel on this, at this particular campsite. What else? I think it was J.T. Fowler's homestead. Morning, guys. What else do we know? All right, Fowlers Campground, once inhabited by the Wintu Native Americans. They named the lower fells Nurum-Wittikdiki, falls where the salmon turn back. And I can show you why that is, if we make it that far, because the salmon would be hard pressed to make it up these falls. Archaeological excavations conducted in 1986 revealed that the Native Americans came here on a seasonal basis, but here's the interesting part to me. Fowlers has a long history as a camping spot. The Forest Service acquired it in 1932, and the McCloud River Lumber Company shortly thereafter, the Civilian Conservation Corps, built a primitive campground. Prior to that, the late 1800s, the area was homesteaded by Mr. T.B. Fowler. Homestead. Now this is the second campground we've been to that was a homestead. So there's evidence of that, and we'll go for a little bit of a walk. Kaylee, are you fishing out a kerplunker?
Yeah.
Wow, I think there's a lot of kerplunkers down here. Come on, Evan, I think there's a lot of kerplunkers down here.
Oh, you got it. Got a
So just south of where I am right here, down the river, are the falls known as the Lower Falls of the McCloud River. Some interesting facts about this river are it's ultimately dammed at Lake Shasta, but there's also McCloud Lake that is in between here and Lake Shasta. And this is considered the upper McCloud. The lower McCloud is the section between Lake McCloud and Lake Shasta. And apparently that portion of the river is kind of either privately owned by these fishing clubs or a fishing club. But either way, it's highly fished apparently, and so they regulate how many fish are allowed to use, or how many fishermen are allowed to be in that area fishing. I think they limit it to like 5 or 6 rods per day, and it's strictly catch and release, and I'm sure there are other regulations like barbless hooks and such. But up here is actually stocked with fish, believe it or not. And last night there was a hatch happening here on the water, and there were plenty of fish rising and feeding on the surface. There was a couple of scientific anglers down here fishing, but the very small fish were biting. Nothing of significance. I saw maybe a 9-inch fish rise. But this is the upper McCloud River. So just a short walk, I would say less than 5 minutes from Fowler Campground. We are now coming up on Lower Falls. And you can see water is necking down, and then pow, there it is, the top of the falls. We're going to take the road less traveled. My kids are over there, which is better, but I need to be mindful of them because this is quite a drop into a beautiful pool. I've been here before in the dead of summer, and there are hundreds of people here. Jumping into the pool directly below these falls. Wow, that's a lot of water. Ultimately making its way into Shasta Lake as irrigation water for much of the Sacramento Valley. Okay, so remember the campground that we're staying at? What do you guys remember what it's called? Fowler Campground. Remember B.T. Fowler? It was his homestead. But what are these lower falls? This is the McCloud River. And this is called the lower falls on the McCloud River. But what else is it called? Do you remember? It's Turnback Falls. Because the salmon get to this point and they turn back, or they used to, because they couldn't get up those falls. Now that the McCloud River is dammed in 2 locations, both the McCloud Lake and Shasta Lake, the salmon run has been greatly impacted. In some cases, completely extinct. Extinct means they are all gone and that particular species no longer exists. That's pretty sad, huh?
How will we spot fishes if they're gone?
We won't.
Then why did you ask?
Well, that species of fish that's gone, the salmon, we can't spot. But there are new fish that we can spot. There are certain trout in here. And this particular section of the river is stocked by the Fish and Game. They put fish in here for people to catch and to breed.
What's green?
Breed is another word for spawn or make new babies. And the babies hatch and then they grow to be big fish. Yeah, that's it.